A broad trough is digging into the eastern U.S., with a low-pressure system currently shifting across the northern Gulf and edging eastward along the coast. Ahead of that system, we're seeing a warm, moist air mass entrenched over the southeastern states, while behind it, a cooler, drier air mass is poised to move in. The result: readiness for convection today in humid zones, followed by a transition toward more fall-like stable conditions midweek. In the broader southeast corridor, especially into southeastern Georgia, the warm frontal zone is lifting northward, while a cold front is approaching from the west. Over northeast Florida and southeast Georgia, the National Weather Service Jacksonville, Florida JAX discussion notes showers and isolated thunderstorms building ahead of the warm front, and then a band of convection ahead of the cold front moving through this afternoon into evening. Winds will back from easterly to westerly through the frontal passage. The marine environment is also stressed. High rip current risk, rough surf, onshore gusts up to 35 miles per hour, and small craft advisories along the coast. Thus, for the southeast zone today, heavy rain potential, gusty winds, hazardous marine conditions. Tomorrow into Wednesday, the cold front passes through, high pressure builds, and cooler, drier air filters south, bringing a more stable regime. Key implications for aviation and meteorology. Convection today. With abundant low-level moisture, lift from the trough/shortwave, and surface heating, scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected across much of Florida and into southeast Georgia. Heavy rainfall and gusty winds remain the primary hazards, along with brief flight restrictions and heavier cells. Flooding potential, particularly in east-central Florida, Volusia, Lake, Seminole, etc., where antecedent rainfall has been significant. Monitor for localized flooding, especially in poor drainage/urban areas. Winds and marine hazards. Onshore flow is generating high rip current risk. Rough surf, small craft concerns. Translation: turbulence potential over marine zones. Crosswind gusty implications at coastal airports. Transition phase. A cold front intrudes late today into Tuesday, ushering in drier, cooler air and fewer convective concerns. For pilots, improving ceilings visibilities and more stable conditions are on the horizon midweek. Regional differences. While South Florida remains in the warm, humid air mass today, Central Florida is already seeing the warm front and improving steering flow, which reduce the risk of training storms. Northeast Florida/SE Georgia still have the frontal boundary convergence and must contend with onshore surge and heavier convective banding. Climate and geographic context. Florida's peninsula geometry, narrow east-west bounded by the Atlantic and Gulf, means it's particularly responsive to frontal incursions and mesoscale moisture surges. The humid subtropical climate ensures deep moisture reservoirs in the low levels. So when dynamic support arrives, as with today's shortwave trough couplet, the atmosphere is primed for robust shower and thunderstorm activity. Georgia's southeast coastal zone similarly benefits from low-level moisture, but shifts to drier regimes more quickly as synoptic features pass. The forthcoming drop into the 70s and lows into the 50s represents a textbook early fall cold air intrusion for this region. In summary, today is a day of active weather across Florida and the southeast. Expect scattered showers, thunderstorms, heavy rainfall risk especially in central Florida, gusty onshore winds and marine hazards along the coast, and transitional weather patterns ahead of a frontal passage. For aviation and meteorology professionals, Maintain heightened vigilance on convective timing and rainfall rates. Watch for wind shift zones and shifting ceilings visibilities, and prepare for improving conditions midweek as drier air arrives. Geography, moisture, and dynamics are all aligning today. Strong moisture, southeasterly flow, upper level support, and a lifting frontal boundary. These combine for today's weather scenario,